of all, I just wanted to take a moment to read this statement. So we acknowledge the Indigenous families and their traditional lands on where we begin our work today. So I come from a place of respect and gratitude to know I work, live, and learn in their traditional lands. I start off with sharing this quote from a wonderful woman named Oprah Winfrey. She said, "A mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself." I particularly love this because it fosters growth, learning, and openness, and many of the mentoring relationships, we really hope to kind of see that over the course of the mentoring program. So next, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce some your hosts this evening. So my name is Anujot Diol. I am a CPHR, and I am currently an HR manager at FinCAD. So I have been a protege and a mentor throughout the last 9 years. And this upcoming year, this will be my second year as a member of the mentoring committee. I'm going to pass it over to Elisa so she can introduce herself as well.
Thank you, Anujot, and good evening, everyone. My name is Elisa Turkov, and I am a CPHR, and I've been part of a mentoring program for the past, I would say, over 5 years as both a protege and a mentor. And I work at Gordon Food Service. I'm a learning and development specialist, and I've been part of the committee for the past year. And so really happy to see as many people as you are tonight interested in the program. I will also allow Jayita to introduce herself as the coordinator.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jayita Mandal, and I'm the project coordinator at BC Yukon CPHR. So please feel free to ask me any questions. You can email me or call me, and I'll help you through. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayita. Before we start, we do have a poll. Question is, are you planning to either apply as a mentor, apply as a protege, both, or you're still undecided?
Yeah, about 15% of you are applying as a mentor, 68 as a protege. A couple are doing both, which is great. I encourage you, if you have something, even something little to give, to apply as a mentor as well, and undecided. So hopefully we can answer your questions so you can.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So for tonight, we will be going over the program overview of the mentoring program here at CPHR. We'll talk about roles and responsibilities of both the mentor, the protege, and also CPHR. We will look at key highlights of the program. We'll give you some tips for setting yourself up for success. We'll talk about the support staff, and we will have time at the end for questions.
Okay, so to start off with, we'll do an overview of the program. So the CPHR BC and Yukon professional mentoring program, we're there to match proteges and mentors with a single purpose in mind, and that is to support your professional development in a meaningful way. So this program is a 9-month program. So when you are looking at applying as a mentor or a protege, be prepared to commit for the 9-month period between February and October. We ask that you commit to participate in a minimum of 1 to 3 hours per month of interaction with your match or your partner. Be a CPHR BC and Yukon member in good standing throughout the duration of the program. It's also important that you track and document your interaction with each other with the program as well. It does come up when you are looking to renew your CPHR to keep track of those hours as well. And then form and to ensure that that there is regular, so in the sense of how do you meet each other and the frequency of contact between mentors and proteges, and that will depend upon depending on each pair and their availability. In terms of the program timeline on this slide, so registration is already open. It opened on November 8th, and it will open until December 1st. In that time, following that, you should receive your official match notification around January 27th, just in time for the program to start in February. We also put out a series of mentoring webinars, and so we've got the date listed in the middle of that table, which is February 7th, April 12th, June 8th, and September 15th. Typically at the end of the program, we'll ask you to complete a survey to share, for you to share what your experience was like as either a mentor, protege, or even both. And that'll come out in October of next year. And the official end of the program is October 31st, but there are many mentoring relationships that do continue on past October because there might be really good chemistry, or the conversation hasn't ended, and so relationships do continue. Between February and October, you'll get some emails around tips and tricks, typically sent every second month, and these are emails that are shared with you to help you build and maintain strong and successful mentoring relationships. And you'll also be invited to join a mentoring LinkedIn group during the 9th month. I'm going to pass it over to Elise to walk through roles and responsibilities.
Thank you. So we're hoping that this will help the people who are undecided in selecting either protege, mentor, or both. And so let's look at the roles and responsibilities of the protege. So the first role of the protege is really taking ownership and leadership of your own success and development through selecting and getting goals for yourself that you'll discuss with your pair, with your mentor, and really working towards those goals with that mentor throughout the year. It is up to the protege to take the initiative to set up every meeting, and the protege should be taking ownership, right, of this development. So it is up to them to set the meeting, to organize the dates, the times with their mentor, and to really let them know what they want to discuss at each meeting. So on that note, it is up to the protege to send an agenda, to send what they want to discuss beforehand. And we also encourage and we ask that proteges and mentors be creative and flexible on how they want to meet and connect. I'll share a personal example. Throughout this last year, obviously, meetings were virtual and we were able to flex around timing and schedules. However, when it was safe to do so, we started taking walks outside, still, with the COVID situation, but outside was better and still safe. And so we were trying to be flexible and to adapt to each other's schedules. And we really encourage you to do so throughout the relationship. As a protege, it is important that you be willing to be coached and receive feedback. You're here to develop, you're here to work on yourself, on your career. And so obviously it's important to be open to that feedback and to what your mentor has to share. It is important also, and I'm talking about experience, to follow through with commitments and timeline, right? Because the protege owns this relationship. It is on you as the protege to follow through and make sure that you commit to your timelines. Obviously, a very important one is to respect confidentiality. The mentor will be sharing information perhaps from the business where they work. So we ask that it is completely confidential to gain that trust in that relationship. And to share the gift of mentoring, whether you're a protege or a mentor, you both will learn lots throughout the year. When we look at the roles and responsibilities of the mentor on the next slide, we ask that as a mentor, you actually start by asking yourselves questions. And what we mean by that is that the protege will most probably want to know a bit more about your career path, your career journey, how you got to where you are today. So if you ask your questions in advance, it will help, we think, with the relationship and just establishing that contact. We ask that as mentors, you lead with honest communication. Obviously, the protege is there to learn, is there to grow. And so we need honest communication to be able to grow. Active listening will be an important skill. As a mentor, you're there to listen to the situation and then help the protege find the solution for themselves. Often they do have the answer. So active listening is quite important. And obviously it's important to be open and curious about the situation that the protege is experiencing. Constructive feedback is necessary during the mentorship relationship. That's the main purpose, right, of mentors. And we do ask that as mentors, you set aside a minimum of 1 hour per month. We know that some proteges will ask and be curious of if you have more than 1 hour. Some people would like to have more. And if you do have the capability of giving more than 1 hour per month, that will be wonderful for the protege. But so the minimum that we're asking is 1 hour per month. And we ask that you be creative and be innovative as well in guiding your protege to achieve their goals during the year. And only you and your protege will be able to find new ways together to achieve those goals. We also wanted to share some roles and responsibilities of CPHR, BC, and Yukon. So there is a program manager and coordinator is Jaita, and a mentoring committee for each region. And they are the ones responsible for creating the matches in January. You will be introduced to your match via email. So it will be email communication. We will be providing, the CPHR, Jaita will be providing resources and documents in that initial email to start your relationship. And they will be sending out communication to participants throughout the program. As Anujat referred to, there are webinars and there are also tips throughout the year that we're sending out. And they are also there to address any issues. So there have been issues in the past. Obviously, when there are issues or situations that come up, we ask that the pair try to resolve the issue between themselves first. However, if there are communication issues or if there are other issues that are harder to address, Jaita and CPHR will also be there to help. And so back to you, Anujat.
Thank you. So this slide talks to some of the key highlights that we've already kind of mentioned, but just to give you some key points. So again, in terms of the program, it runs from February to October. This was a fairly recent addition, if I remember. We do have a student group cohort mentoring. So these are for students who are currently enrolled in post-secondary without HR experience. So two or three of them may be grouped together and working with one mentor. And so that way they kind of get together and they are able to ask questions and bounce ideas and learn from, and not only learn from the mentor, but from each other as proteges as well. There are some virtual webinar sessions, and this is a great way to keep the mentoring relationship going by attending these sessions together. And I've often found from my own experience that sometimes there might be a lull in topics or there may not be obvious topics to talk about. This might kind of help initiate and provide more opportunity to talk about some other things. Now, in terms of getting started, once you are matched, you will receive an email from us indicating who your match is. And it will have your mentor or protege's email address and phone number. And so we ask that once you do receive that email that you contact your mentor or protege within the first 24 to 48 hours to set up your meeting. Now, in the off chance that you're not able to make contact with your match, maybe even after a few attempts, and within after 10 days, maybe just let us know, and it'll be in the email as well, but you can let us know through mentor@cphrbc.ca. So sometimes that first meeting with your mentor or protege may seem a little bit daunting, and so what we're also providing you with is an information guide and FAQ documents and any supporting templates that may aid you in starting that first meeting. And so we encourage you to download that information. The other kind of suggestions we provide you with are discussing and setting expectations with your match, and deciding when and how you would like to meet and set an agenda in advance. We encourage you to do this. It really kind of sets the tone for the mentoring relationship, and it helps keep the protege's goals in mind, and ensuring that that 9-month period is as productive as it can be. And one of the other tips is just to start having discussions and communicate interests and activities, and that kind of helps segue the conversation into other things and helps build relationships. And I'm going to pass it back to Elisa to discuss setting yourself up for success.
Thank you. Yes, we just wanted to share a few tips and tricks to set you up for success for your mentoring relationships. The first one is really to be prepared. So from personal experience, every time I've been a protege, and even on the mentor side, it really does help when the protege takes the time to download the goal setting documents and really set goals for themselves. And they don't have to be 100% set. You can come to that first meeting with the goals and discuss that with your mentor. And most of the time together, we try to find the best way and what the protege wants to work on during the course of the year. But preparation is key because it sets the direction to the relationship. And then too often, people skip this second tip. So to discuss expectations and boundaries at the beginning of the relationship. Too often this is missed. And what happens is that 2 or 3 meetings down the road, there's misunderstanding or miscommunication because expectations weren't set. I've had a mentor in the past that she really didn't like people being late. And so knowing that, I had extra caution of not being late because I want to respect and I appreciate the time that she was giving to me, right? So just setting those expectation boundaries, even if it seems a bit uneasy at first, I find really goes a long way. And then it is a good practice to summarize the meeting at the end of each hour with your mentor and protege. So you can summarize your highlights and then set up the next meeting already so that it's scheduled so you can commit to that timeline. And we also encourage people to email the discussion topics and agenda ahead of time, so a few days before. From a protege standpoint, it helps get organized and know what you want to discuss. And from the mentor point of view, it helps for the mentor to actually, if they want to prepare, if they want to find some information that they do want to share with their protege ahead of time. We encourage you also to attend events together. This past year, my protege actually was very timid in attending CPHR events. And so it was one of her objectives during the year to attend a roundtable with me. And it went very well. Just the fact knowing that, someone else knowing her was there just gave her the little push that she needed to attend. So it was one of her goals and we did that together. We also encourage you to try different channels of communication, whether that's email, virtual, in person if it's safe to do so. It could be over the phone. So again, we encourage you to be flexible. And we do ask that you respect each other's time and commitment. Obviously, everyone in the pair is busy. We know that we have busy lives, but we're trying to obviously help one another. And so to respect each other's time and to show up at the meeting is a best practice, obviously. And we also encourage you to connect with other mentoring pairs, and you can do that through the webinars that we host 4 times a year. And we also encourage you to use short and long-term goals. So you could set goals throughout the year, but also check up at the 3, 6, and 9-month checkpoint. And obviously, we encourage you to have fun, connect with your pair. You will find out that you have common interests and you just have to dig for them, right? So that's how we connect and develop that relationship. We will talk a little bit about next steps. And so if you are interested in becoming a mentor, a protege, or both, we ask that you log into the CPHR website and you go to the online store, which is on the left side of the screen. It's highlighted on the screen in front of you. And then once you've done that, you will find the mentor or protege that you will see on the right-hand side of the screen right now. You have to select and add it to your cart. If you apply as a mentor, it is free. If you apply as a protege, it is a $25 fee for students and $35 for general or CPHR members. If you apply as a renewing pair, it is free. And if you need to apply, or if you want to apply as a protege and as a mentor, just please note you will have to do this process twice. So once you have it in your cart, you will receive, you process the fee, and then you will receive an email with the application link. So please note it is a 2-step process. You pay the fee and then you complete the actual form, and that will complete your application. So again, if you're doing it as a protege and as a mentor, you have to do this process twice. And so I'll let Jaida explain or just introduce the support staff.
Thank you, Alyssa. So here is the support staff behind the professional mentoring programs team. So I am Jaida. Hi again. And we have with us the member relations manager. We have Quinn Davey for Lower Mainland. We have Carolyn Taylor for Vancouver Islands, Tim Reed for Interior and Northern regions, Rita Koller for Yukon. And we also have our wonderful team of volunteers like Alyssa and Anajot who support us throughout our programs. And so welcome to the mentoring program. We are hoping to see you soon.